Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Habitual. I hope your day is going absolutely amazing, beautiful, gorgeous, wonderful. My day was not super going that way, but it has ended that way. And I guess without further ado, that's kind of what the episode is about, as I'm sure you've seen by the title. We are going to talk about how to get out of a funk. Or at least how I did. And some of this might seem like, oh my God, Haley, duh, obviously. Like, no shit. But honestly, let's see. I'm like clickbaiting. The third step, you won't believe the third step. No, but actually, wait. Okay. But actually, the third step is really just what got me the most. Just because I have been in a funk for literally so long. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm getting distracted. Sorry. Aw. Cute. I'm getting distracted because, okay, story time really quick before we get into it, I guess. I got distracted because Jacob and I went on a date last week to the ocean, and we were just like eating our little burritos and sitting out on like a bluff. And we have like these amazing camping chairs that we got from Costco, and they just like pack up into a backpack. Anyways, whatever. Besides the point, we're just sitting there and we're enjoying and we're having a great time. And then this man came up and was like, "Oh my God, I'm a local photographer." And I just like took photos of you guys because it looked so great with the lighting and the whatever. And reach out to me if you want them. If not, I'll delete them. And so I reached out to him last night, and he just sent me the photos. It's only like 4 photos, but it's still really cute. And anyways, he like literally just texted me like, "Oh, I sent them," like the second I started recording. So I was looking at all of them. Jacob putting his hot sauce on his fucking burrito. Give me 1 second. And now we're rocking on the dance floor, acting naughty. Anyways, yeah, I have been in a really crazy, super fun, horrible funk the past few days. And yes, partially is definitely partially the what? Part of the reason. Let's restart. Part of the reason is because I was on my period, and I guess it was just one of those. You know what I mean? You know, it was just one of those. But anyways, I was just having a really hard time mentally and emotionally. And I just like couldn't fucking shake it no matter what I did. Like no matter what I did, no matter how much I like did exercise, like all these stuff, I just couldn't fucking shake it. And I do think that part of me getting out of this funk was also like today was like the end of my cycle. So I think that could be really adding to it. But anyways, still just what I wanted to talk about and what felt right to talk about. And so that's what I'm going to talk about. My back really hurts when I lean forward like that, but then also sitting for this far back makes me feel so weird. Like I'm like so far away. Okay. Getting out of a funk. And I think that this is like, I just tried so many different combinations of this, and today it fucking hit. Okay. And so I think I like really locked in. But again, like I said, the third thing was really just like, actually, I think the secret sauce, the key to the funk being eradicated. The funk shall be within you. You know what I mean? King Kunta, if you know, you know. Anyways, how to get out of a funk. Number one. And you might be like, God, Haley, I really don't want to do that. Number 1 is journal, or because I know some of you hear the word journal and you're like, I literally will never sit down and I will never just like write in a journal, because a lot of you won't ever do that. And that's fine. You're missing out, but that's fine. That's on you. And if you can't do that, you're missing out, but that's fine. And so the alternative to journaling is a voice note. If you like, there is a barrier between you and sitting down and journaling. One, I implore you to explore that barrier and try and push it down just a little bit at a time. Lists are a good way to get that barrier down. And just freeform. Just like fucking let the thoughts flow. But anyways, if you don't want to journal and you're like, I literally won't do that. Like if you hear that and you're like, nope, not for me, then you should try a voice note because it's similar. It doesn't get as like into the nitty gritty, but it is pretty fantabulous. And you can just talk like you're talking, but then you talk like you're talking to a friend or like yourself, obviously. And what I like to start with when I am in a funk and I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Also, like, tidbit about me, I have a Gemini moon. My emotions are very like, sometimes they just happen and I have to work really hard to understand why I feel that way. Like, it's not like a something like event and then subsequent emotion. My brain and my emotional brain and my emotions don't work like that. I wish it did. God, it would make things a lot easier, but I have to like really like get in there and like get my hands dirty trying to figure out like why I feel certain things. And yeah, it's really fun for Jacob because I will just start crying. He's like, what's wrong? I'm like, I don't know. I actually don't know. That's really fun for me. And so anyways, this just helps me, I guess. And here we go, right? This is all what helps me. So anyways, journal / voice memo. And what I start with is like, this is what's going on. Like, this is how I'm feeling, or this is how I'm feeling. And then like, I'll move into like, this is what's like currently going on in my life. These are kind of like the themes that are happening. And then usually when I just like start writing and I put the pen to paper, then like things come out and it starts to flow and it starts to like make a little bit more sense. Also, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I like write for so long and I write pages of whatever and I'm like, I don't even feel like I got any clarity, right? But that's okay because that's not the point. This is step one. Step one, journal. It's just like getting all of those things that are like swirling about in your head and giving them a place to live. That's not your head. Again, whether that's pen to paper or voice to voice memo. I don't know what that'd be. Pen to paper, voice to memo app. I don't know. Anyways, do with that what you will. Whatever you would like. Dealer's choice, but it's very, very helpful. And also if you are like freaked out about having like things in your journal or in your phone, then just delete it right afterwards because it like actually is not serving any purpose. It's not you're not supposed to like look back at it, but no, you know what I mean? Like, you're not supposed to look, you're not going to read it again. You're not going to listen to it again. So just, if you're feeling weird about it, then just delete it as soon as you record it. But it's just the act of like giving it a place to live and giving and outside of your brain. You know what? You don't even have to record yourself. If you just want to talk to yourself, you know what I mean? That seems just a little bit like weirder. But you can do that too. That just seems, do you know what I mean? Like, I guess a voice note is you're still talking to yourself, but it seems a little less weird because there is like a motive, right? Like, you are creating a voice note instead of just like sitting there looking at the wall and talking to yourself. But to each their own, whatever you want to do. Just get some of the excess shit and gunk and like icky grime that's been circulating in your brain and just like growing fun like mold and like swiping against all the cobwebs inside of your head. Like, you're sticking like a Swiffer in there and just like and cleaning it out, pulling it all out to try and start with like a little bit more of a fresh slate. So anyways, that's number one. That's step number one. Oh, there's 5 steps. I mean, there's actually as many steps as you want, but this is 5. Anyways, okay. So that's number 1. Number 2, move your body. Oh my God. Who would have thought I was going to say that? I know. Move your body. I will preach this till the day that I die. Move your body, movement, whatever it is to you. Honestly, though, in this circumstance, I do believe that walking is preferred. Not running. You might have expected me to say that. No, not running. Walking. And also not going to well, I guess you can walk on the treadmill. Okay. outside walking. Walking outdoors. If that's not accessible to you, then sure, going to the gym or doing something like that, but that's fine. But walking outside. Why walking outside? Why walking? Instead of just like working out? No. Walking is bilateral stimulation. Okay. It is stimulating both sides of your brain. It's like really similar. It has similar effects as like EMDR, which is, I don't know what it stands for, but it's a type of therapy. I'm actually going to look it up now because I feel silly for saying that and not knowing what it stands for. Excuse me. Eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. That's what EMDR means. Okay. There's bilateral stimulation similar to EMDR. We already went over that. Okay, yeah. The rhythmic part of walking, of movement, it lowers stress hormones like cortisol, and it can like help slow your breathing. It signals to your brain, and it like signals to your brain to return to parasympathetic mode, which is like rest and restore. And it just calms your nervous system. It literally like resets, which is really important if you're feeling a little funky. You know what I mean? So it's like step 1 is right, the writing, getting it all out. And then step 2 is like moving and like basically not like tricking your body in your brain, but kind of tricking your body in your brain into regulating itself and getting, and also it stimulates like oxygen and blood flow to your brain, to certain parts of your brain that promote clarity. So you can get like a lot of clarity on maybe like why you're feeling that way, or what a good way to move through whatever your feeling is, or whatever that the situation calls for. But you can get a lot of clarity. That's one thing. And then 2, it also can help enhance your problem solving skills and your creativity. So, which are all things that like help if you're like in a little pickle, in a pickly situation or time in life. Do you know what I mean? Like you can get it's just great. Clarity, problem solving skills, creativity. It's doing all the things. It's calming your nervous system. It is, and part of calming your nervous system is that like you're tricking your body into emotionally regulating your emotions. Which usually when you're in a funk, for me at least, I was like, couldn't really do that because I was just having a hard time because I was just feeling really down and bummed about stuff, but about like things that I didn't actually know I was bummed about, or things that I wasn't actually like, I didn't know what I was bummed about. I was just kind of like bummed in gen, you know? So that was weird. And so this helped a lot. So walking helped. And then, so this is what I did. I did a few miles, but I think that if you do part of your walk, like the first half of your walk, maybe in, I hate to say it, like silence, but like genuinely, so you can like really like think and let your brain like let all these things like arise. For me, I did this and I did start crying. So there was that, but it really was like all this stuff was just like coming up and out. And the first half was silent and I let all that happen and it came out and I started crying. And then I was like, you know what? I've just been trying all of these things and I think maybe what I need is to stop trying to think about why I'm feeling this or what I'm feeling this about, and maybe just try and make myself feel a little bit better. That was like kind of like what my thought process was, because again, this was today. This was on day like 6 of being really not feeling awesome. And I was like, this is okay, whatever, fine. I've done all the things, let me try. And this is where we get into number 3, which was so freaking amazing and helpful, and I feel like a little bit of a silly girl for not thinking about this, because usually this always helps me. But anyways, I played happy music. Number 3, play music that makes you feel good, like feel good music for you, like whatever that may be. I was listening to Jack Johnson. I was listening to Elton John. I was listening to Role Model. Like I was just like moving and grooving. My second half of my walk, like where I like my little turnaround point, put on good music. And I was like, you know what? It really is that simple. And it really is like, I've done all these things. I've tried my best. I've like gotten it out of my system. I have regulated my body. And like at this point, it was just my brain was just not catching up. Like my brain was not catching the drift that like things were actually fine and looking up. And my brain just couldn't really comprehend that until I just gave her some like fun little happy music. And then instantly she was like, wait, the sun is shining. The sun is shining. And there is sunlight on my face. And I feel so good. And I'm so happy to be alive, actually. And all it took, the special ingredient, the secret ingredient to the special sauce, was listening to good music. I know. But also, like, I genuinely think that if I didn't do all the other steps first, it wouldn't have done anything, because I think I would have still been irritated and kind of been like a little like, okay, like, I literally don't want to listen to this. But because I did steps 1 and 2 and did the first half of the walk in silence, it was like, okay. Like, it was like a natural order. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was like, okay. I primed my brain and my body to to react well to this and to enjoy it, basically. And yeah, and I was like singing and dancing, and I'm like doing a little like air guitar, listening to Benny and the Jets, like walking and having a great time, and just realizing that there is so much joy in life. And yes, this was the first time I was actually able to feel this in like 6 days, which is crazy because, my God, it's a really long time to be in a funk. I pride myself in being a very positive and optimistic person, as I am sure you probably know or can tell. And it just actually irks me more than anything when I am feeling so like when I feel like I can't shake a gross mood. Because that's usually what it is for me. It's just like a mood, and I can usually like get myself out of that mood. But this was like a serious fucking funk. This was like a ferocious funk, a serious slump. Do you know what I mean? It was like fucking intense. It sucked a lot. And I could like distract myself. But then once I was like done with the distraction, then I'd go back to being like, you know what I mean? That's when fuck that shit. Anyways, so listening to really happy music was just like so great. I literally kept walking longer than I needed to because I just wanted to finish the song that I was listening to. And I was just like, oh my God, this is so great. This is like actually the medicine that I've been needing. And holy fuck, I don't want it to end. I got in my car, kept playing my music, kept dancing. And then I got back to my house, and then I was like, why should the good vibes end? They shouldn't. And this is where we get into step 4. Continue playing that playlist. Also, side note, everyone should have a playlist. Okay, incoming homework. If you don't have this is your homework. Everyone should have a playlist filled with songs that when you listen to, you feel like anything is possible and everything is going to be okay. I have one on my Spotify called Abundance Mindset, and it's literally just what I feel, what I listen to, and I'm like, I'm going to get everything that I want in life, and everything is possible, and I'm just so happy, and love actually is all around, and I am so happy and grateful to be here. That is the playlist that I listen to when I'm feeling that, when I need to like really like, what is the word? When I really need to just like emphasize that feeling and that vibe in my life and in my feelings. And I listen to it all the time. It's probably my most listened to playlist because it makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I can take on the world, the world is an amazing place to be, that being alive is so great, that I'm doing my best. And also is filled with a lot of songs that have like positive, like their lyrics are similar to like positive affirmations. Like The Middle by Jimmy Eat World. That is the best affirmation song of all time. If you're ever feeling like anything, or like you need like a pump up song, or you need like a song to sing, like, because also we've been through this. Words are so important. And the words that you are singing are also just as important as the words that you say out loud to yourself, because you're saying them out loud. And the intention behind singing songs that have such beautiful lyrics, or like affirming lyrics, Like there's a difference. Like you can feel the difference energetically, and it's like a fucking spell. It is literally like a spell, and it's magic. So anyways, do without what do. Okay, why do I keep trying to say this and I can't say it? Do without what you will. Yeah. Do without what you will, but everyone should have a playlist, at least of whatever music makes you feel good about yourself and happy about life and happy to be alive, and listen to that. Okay, so then now we're going to get into number 4 because I actually forgot what we were talking about. Number 4, continue playing that playlist. Maybe not on your headphones, but like on a speaker or just on your phone. And drumroll, please, get into the shower. Get into the shower, and you're going to do an everything shower. Yes. Even if you just did one, even if you did one a day ago, it doesn't matter. You're going to do an everything shower, and you're going to listen to that playlist, and you're going to keep the vibes super high, and you're going to be singing, and you're going to be dancing, because that's the point of this music also, is like you have to dance. Sorry, I actually don't make the rules, but you have to dance when you're listening to this playlist in the shower. It's like my favorite place to dance. Like, shake your fucking ass, get into it, be slutty, be spicy, just have fun. Just like literally no one can see you. Like, just do the craziest shit. Just do whatever your body wants to do and whatever you want to do, and have so much fun doing it, because you're letting it out. You're being expressive, okay? So anyways, that's number 4, is get in the shower and do an everything shower with the music still playing, and you're going to dance, and you're going to sing, and you're going to have the best time of your life in that fucking shower. You're going to put on a performance for you. Yeah. You're going to put on a performance for yourself, and you're going to feel like the hottest, sexiest version of yourself while you're like getting clean and while you're doing everything. And it's going to be the best thing ever. And you're going to feel so good, and it's just going to be great. And you're going to be like, wow, I love this. And then, also side note, for the everything shower and for showers in general, just a little tidbit of info. It's one of the best places to do an energy cleanse. One of the easiest, most like mundane versions of doing an energy cleanse that is very readily available to everyone, most people. But what that looks like is I usually do mine, it depends on the day. Sometimes in the beginning, but usually at the end. And I just like sit there and I let the water wash over me, and I just envision the water being like white light and like very cleansing. And I imagine it while it's like going over my head and my body. I imagine it like cleansing and like literally wiping away any energy that is not mine, any energy that like I might have been holding on to, any energy, external energy that has maybe like had come at me throughout the day. Any energy that I have inside of me that feels icky, like I like let it all, like I envision the water as white light, and I envision all of the like external energies or like random energies or unwanted energies as like little spots of mud on me, and the water, the white energy of the water is like cleaning it away and down the drain and leaving. And it obviously, I mean, it works. It's just the intention behind it. I was gonna say that seems so woo-woo, but it's actually not, because it's just a fact. So yeah, great resource, great time in the day to do an energy cleanse. And especially in this whole funk, whatever, like you've done the mental cleanse, you've done like the body cleanse with the music, you've like pumped your energy up, like you're feeling better. And then you can like also just envision all of the gross and external energy leaving your body and circling right down that drain and away from you. Super, super nice, super important, super great. And then you step out. Also, like another thing that I like to do is like, I just envision like when I turn this water off and the shower's done, I am physically stepping out of the shower. I'm stepping out of the shower, and I'm physically stepping into, like, this is a threshold moment, and I'm physically stepping into my most abundant timeline, the easiest timeline, the most loving timeline, whatever. And I just tell myself that when I get out. And then I act like it. Like I act like I just like appeared in this most amazing, abundant, loving timeline that is possible for me. And I'm like, oh, yay, I'm so happy to be here. So that's great. And another thing that you can do and help really just fucking leave leave that funk behind. And here's where it can kind of split into a few different ways. But I genuinely believe that, like, for me personally, like, doing my makeup makes me feel like the hottest bitch in the whole wide world. And I love doing my makeup. And it's also very therapeutic for me. And I have so much fun listening to music and sitting and doing my makeup and just feeling like a hot bitch. And then afterwards, I just feel so good about myself. And I love like putting on a cute outfit, whatever. That is what makes me feel really good about myself and makes me feel like the baddest version of me. Okay. For me personally. So that's going to be my advice for you as a step 5 to really seal in this I am feeling great energy and I feel on top of the world and I am no longer in a funk vibe, right? Like really, it's like the cherry on top. No, it's not. No, it's not. It is the icing on the cake. You've made the cake. You've gotten like all of it. Like it's done. The cake itself is like done and beautiful and gorgeous and like ready to eat. And it's probably going to be so delicious. However, this is like the icing on top of it that just makes it look just as delicious as it's going to taste and also taste a little bit more delicious. But that is also like whatever that means to you. Whatever makes you feel like the baddest fucking version of yourself, to where you look in the mirror and you're like, that like, that's her. I am her. She is me. We are the fucking hottest bitch to exist. And I also want to impress upon the importance of, there's such a difference between feeling hot and feeling pretty. And I just want to touch on that distinction and know that I am pointing towards, you want to feel hot. You want to feel like, yes, like I am sexy and I am hot and I'm fucking invincible and no one can touch me. Because if no one can touch you when you're like that, then the funk sure as hell cannot touch you. And also no one in a funk is ever going to feel like that. It's like, do you know what I mean? Like you're really like severing the tie between you and the funk by reaching the state. Like, yes, having an everything shower is great and you're clean and you're like cute and pretty and like feeling good, but it's really just like elevating it like one more. And you might be like, but I'm not going to do anything and I'm going to sit in my house and whatever. Take your makeup off afterwards or just put a cute ass like outfit on. Like, don't just get into like a sweatpants and a sweatshirt. Like, that is like so easy to go back into feeling a little, you know, you got to really, like, you're tricking your brain, essentially. You're not tricking, you're convincing your brain that, like, there is no relationship between you and that funk anymore. You are long gone. You are so far removed from any version of yourself that would feel like that. And how do you do that? Doing up your appearance a little bit. I'm trying to think of another way that you could do that, but truly it's just like whatever makes you feel like, yeah, the baddest fucking version of yourself and the hottest version of yourself. And you want to feel like when you look in the mirror and you're like, yes. That's how you want to feel. And yeah, I'm sure for some people that's maybe doesn't involve makeup. Maybe it just involves putting on like a really cute outfit or like sexy lingerie, even if it's just for yourself and just like being in your fucking room in sexy ass lingerie. Like, yeah, I think that you should do that. If that's what makes you feel like the number one hottest bitch in the world, that's what you should do. You can keep listening to music. You can do whatever you want after that. I'm not going to tell you what to do after that. I already told you 5 things to do. You know what I mean? But you continue that energy in the way that you best want to continue it, or that you know is going to continue to promote that feeling, and do whatever like the highest version of yourself is going to do. Like, what is something that, like, when you always think about like, oh my God, that perfect version of myself, what is something that they do regularly? Do that. After all of these 5 steps and you get hot and you get sexy, whatever, do one of those. For me, I'm doing this because this is something that the highest version of myself does and loves. And it is. And I do love it. So I was like, you know what? Fuck yeah. I'm going to go record my episode. guess what? Literally at the beginning of this, when I was at step number 2, when I was halfway through my walk today, I was like, I'm not recording today. I'm going to record tomorrow. I feel so terrible. I don't have any energy. Like, I just actually feel like icky, gross, brain fog, like bleh. Like I was like, there's nothing that I want to talk about. I do not feel like I can be a good representation of habitual and the vibes that I want to bring to habitual. I was like, I just like am so far removed from that there's no way I can film an episode today. Guess what? Finishing all of the rest of those steps, fucking whipped my energy into shape, whole 180. And now I'm like, yeah, who even was that? Because I am back and I'm feeling like the baddest bitch and the best version of myself. And I was like, yeah, of course we're going to record because duh. And this is also, and then this is what I wanted to talk about because I just experienced it all. It's fun. You know what I mean? Anyways, do whatever makes you feel like the hottest version of yourself. And also, if you don't know or you don't have something like that to like, if like I said that and you're like, I don't know. Everyone should have a list. Oh my God. I know, Haley. I know. You should, if you don't want to make a list and you don't want to make like write this shit down or make a note on your notes app. What? A note on your notes. If you don't want to make a note on your, okay, that sounds stupid, but whatever. If you don't want to make a note, oh my God. And if you don't want to make a note on your notes app and you're more of like a visual person, you can make a Pinterest board of your highest self, whatever. There should just be a place, like a landing page somewhere where you can write all the things that, like the way that you envision your highest self, like this immaculate, best fucking version of yourself, like living out your dreams, whatever it is. What do they look like and what do they do every day? What do they look like? What does their day-to-day look like? What makes them that version? Like, what are they doing that is like so amazing? Whatever. And that is your North Star. That is what you are constantly looking towards and constantly wanting to be like. And whenever you're like bored or you have like a free weekend or something, guess what? You can go to that list and be like, what is something that my highest self does that I'm maybe not doing or that I could maybe do this weekend to get myself one step closer? Because assuming reality and acting like the person that you want to be is actually how you become the person that you want to be. You just have to start acting like it and making the decisions that they would make every day. And then you will get there a lot quicker. It's not about anything else, actually. It's just about making the same decisions that person would make. And that usually looks really like being very uncomfortable and completely changing your comfort zone, because everything in your comfort zone is comfortable for a reason, but that does not mean that it is meant for you. And the easiest way to grow is by stepping out of your comfort zone and doing things that do make you uncomfortable. Like making decisions that you maybe wouldn't make. Like, oh, the highest version of myself goes to the gym every single day, or goes on a run or goes on a walk every single day. And then guess what? You wake up at 6 a.m. to go on your run or your walk or the gym or whatever. And what's going to be comfortable is to snooze that alarm and just go back to bed, because that's what is comfortable and that's what you want to do. But that version of yourself, that highest version of yourself, they wouldn't do that. They would just get up and go. And they would make that decision. Obviously, it's going to be uncomfortable. It's not going to be super enjoyable at first, but that is how you change your identity and change your habits, is by changing the decisions that you make every single day and acting and making them in a way that the best version of yourself would. Okay, that's my little rant, but it's so fun to hang out with you guys. I can't wait to see you next week. I hope that you have an amazing, wonderful rest of your day. And don't forget to always be grateful and to write down things that you're grateful about. Don't forget to always be grateful and be happy that you're alive and you have another day on this earth to love and to be loved. Okay, I will see you next week. I love you more than all the stars in the sky. Bye.